And in just a few hours, opening arguments are expected to start in the penalty trial of the Parkland school shooter.
Yeah, the now 23-year-old pleaded guilty last October to killing 17 people in the 2018 mass shooting. And Newsy national correspondent Haley Bull has what you can expect to see during the trial.
It's been more than 4 years since 17 people were killed and 17 people were injured at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School. But at a time when the nation is still grappling with gun violence and school shootings, a jury inside a Florida courtroom will decide whether the Parkland shooter should be sentenced to death.
I'm sure some details of what happened that day that will be particularly troubling to anybody who knew any of the victims.
Tony Montalto's daughter, Gina Rose Montalto, is forever 14.
She was kind. She was compassionate.
There will be no dispute in court over the horrific loss of life in Parkland, Florida, February 14th, 2018. The shooter pleaded guilty last year. The jury will consider whether he gets the death penalty or life in prison without parole. In Florida, a death penalty must be unanimous.
The size and scope of the case is large. And so the prosecution is going to have its work cut out for it to focus the jury on what it wants the jury to hear on that. The defense, on the other hand, is going to have a challenge of focusing on Mr. Cruz and his him as an individual and capacity of mitigation.
The case is expected to last several months. Jurors could hear victim impacts, see sensitive evidence of the crime, hear from mental health experts, and even view the school building itself.
I think the prosecutor will focus on evidence in the case that shows planning, intentionality, thought.
University of Florida professor Jennifer Zedalis says the defense may try to show broader evidence.
Medical, social, psychological, environmental factors that have weighed into ultimately what his makeup was.
But through this case, a focus remains on the lives lost.
That is the ultimate tragedy here, is who was taken from us, taken purposefully. And we need as a society to find a way to prevent these things.
Some Parkland families have worked for changes in school safety, mental health, and firearms regulation. Since jury selection began, mass shootings have occurred across the country in Buffalo, Uvalde, and Highland Park, to name a few.
We are parents who refuse to call Joaquin a victim.
Father Manuel Oliver appeared on Newsy after he interrupted a White House event ushering in the bipartisan passage of new gun legislation that advocates have said is a step forward, but not enough.
I think they might save a few lives, and that's a reason enough for us to more than welcome this resolution. But there's way more that needs to be done.
Haley Bull, Newsy.